Hey everybody, Rev here. We are all scattered to the winds this weekend, so it's just Harvey and I here in the studio for the intro this week, and I've got just a few things before we get into this week's episode. First, I want to let you all know that we do have 2 founder slots open on our Patreon. Kim is running a game of Monster of the Week, and she currently has 2 slots open. So you can head over to patreon.com/thecritshow to see all of the tiers we have there. But the Founders tier gets you access to literally everything that we have created. It gets you swag, it gets you a shirt, and it also gets you a monthly game run by Kim. And I actually do want to thank my Founders group. I didn't get to talk about this when we kind of did the breakdown of the episode, but for the last game that I ran for my Patreon group, I kind of used them as the beta test for Selena and the leeches that could take your memories away and those custom moves. And oh boy, did it wreck them a lot. We had 3 sessions, so 3 months in a row, where the session ended with all 3 of them losing all of their memories. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to them for being my lab rats as I tested some new game mechanics that ended up on the show. And then lastly, I just want to give you all a heads up that around the time of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we're going to have a pretty big overhaul to our store. I will go into some more detail on that next week once I make sure what things are going to be delivered on time, but we're going to have a whole lot of new things on the store. We have been taking notes on the things that all of you have been asking for, and so we're going to have some very cool additions to the store. So I will have a little more information about that next week, and I think with that, it's no, I don't remember what Jake said. Put on your deer stalkers, get out your magnifying glasses. It's time to find some clues. I think that was close.
All right, so you have devised your plan for the evening. Felix has said that he's pretty sure you're all going to need to do a stakeout on this meetup at midnight. Before we just jump ahead to that, is there anything anybody wants to accomplish between now, the end of the school day, and then the midnight stakeout?
What is the layout of like the shop, or the place where they're going to meet? Is it like the door into its inside? Is it like, I always think of a school shop that there's always like the door that goes outside into the parking lot and a big garage door.
Sure. So there is an overhead garage door and there is like a service door. Both of them lead outside. And then there is another service door inside the building that leads into the school. Beyond that, are there any details that you're wanting to know about specifically?
No, really, it's just the door setup.
Yeah. I think two overhead doors and a service door lead outside.
Okay. I want to build a gadget.
Okay.
My capability is gadgets. So I want to build a gadget, kind of like Peter Parker. I want to put my camera kind of at a advantageous angle and set up a field so that if people open the door, either of those 2 outside doors, it takes a picture of them.
Okay.
So like gadget-wise, I imagine it's something that would fit on the top of the garage door and then the seam of the other door that would be kind of hopefully unnoticeable, that when it breaks that barrier, it starts taking pictures.
So you imagine it as like a one shot per door, like it's a thing that once broken, it snaps a photo and then that's it?
I think it probably rolls until it runs out. Because I'm thinking, and this might just be me, I'm thinking digital camera, and digital cameras usually have like a video setting.
Okay. All right. So but it's triggered one time.
Correct.
Is what you imagine.
Yeah.
Sure. Where do you do your gadgetry?
I think I probably do it in the dark room. It's just no one ever goes in there very often, and Mr. Riley likes me, and he is the photography teacher, and I can always look like I'm doing something else.
Okay. So is it hidden within the dark room, or is like the dark room just hidden enough?
I think the dark room is just hidden enough.
Okay. So
do I have like a little hidden space in the dark room?
Yeah. Do you have your own cabinet with like a lock on it that like nobody else gets to access in the dark room?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have an important question about life right now.
Yes.
Do they still use dark rooms and stuff at high schools? I literally don't know. Like, I have no concept of this.
I think that's why no one ever goes in there. It's because all the rest of the yearbook staff went digital, and Peter's just like the one person who still does film photography.
All right. So do you think you do this like right after you all kind of agree on the stakeout tonight?
I probably do it after school, but in the interim.
Okay. Okay, I am going to have you make a gadgets roll here to see how well you are able to craft this device.
And I'm going to spend some points since I've got them.
Okay.
So just as a refresher, I roll a d6 and I add whatever points I spend.
Correct.
Okay. This seems kind of important. I'm going to spend 2 points.
Okay. So drop your pool by 2. What does that leave you with?
4.
Oh, that's good. That's a good amount.
I love the idea of you carrying 2 digital cameras into the dark room, being like, gonna go work.
Just gotta go get some stuff done.
Mr. Riley's like, that's not how those... Okay.
8.
Okay. Yeah, you get this thing crafted, and it's going to do exactly what you want it to do. On your set trigger, it will start rolling until it runs out, and I don't think we need to decide exactly how long that is just yet.
Okay.
That seems unnecessarily granular. But I do think there is going to be an added step here of being able to get it set up in place. So I think the next thing we're probably going to have to do is... I would give you either a sneaking or a repair roll. I think either one would be fair. Repair is going to cover more like the how technically you get it set up. Sneaking is going to cover the how unnoticed you go. But either success will get you where you need to go.
Okay. I think I'm going to go sneaking because I imagine that I don't leave without it ready to set up. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay.
And I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to spend 2 points.
Okay.
Which leaves me with 3 in sneaking. 5.
That will do it. Yeah, so you get your device set up. So what exactly is the trigger on these doors? How does it work? Is it like a literal tripwire, or is it some kind of like magnetic sensor? What's it do?
Yeah, I think it's a magnetic sensor kind of right by where on the normal door where the handle turns so you wouldn't really see it next to where the bolt goes in. And then it's on the floor of the garage door.
Okay. And where's the camera?
I think the cameras have to be facing outside. Like my thought is that they're going to meet in my head. They're going to meet when I'm going to open the door and step outside to talk kind of in the dark as opposed to going into the school. So they're going to be kind of like up on the roof of the shop, pointing down towards where you would step out of those doors.
Perfect. I love it. All right, your device is set up. A good chunk of your afternoon is therefore accounted for. Does anybody else have anything they want to accomplish here?
I think I would want to go talk to Annie.
Okay. Where do you want to catch Annie? Do you want to try and catch her at home, or do you want to try to catch her at practice?
I think like after practice.
But still at the school?
Yeah.
Okay. You arrive at the gym a few hours after school ends, just as the women's basketball team practice is letting out. You catch Annie coming out of the locker room, having changed out to head home, and she sees you. She says, "Oh, hey, hon, what's up?"
Oh, not too much. I'm running around with some people doing a little research. I mean, you know what's going on with the principal, right?
Yeah, I heard. Are you doing your detective thing again?
No. Yeah.
Okay. How's it going?
Pretty good. I kind of wanted to check in with you or see if you or any of the girls had heard anything. I saw that you were all here at least a little bit late last night, so I just thought I'd check, see if you saw anything. I am so about finding out who did this.
No, I didn't see anything. I mean, yeah, you're right. We were here practicing last night, and I heard that that's about the time that it happened. I didn't go out and go past Miller's car or anything, though, so I didn't see anything. I mean, all the girls have been talking about it, but nobody's been like, it was me.
Okay. I mean, come on, help me out. Did anybody stay late or anybody, I don't know, wander around or maybe go chat with any of the auto club kids or anything? You love me 3, so you have to be honest.
I mean, I don't know. I'm the team captain. I'm not like their babysitter. Nobody brought anything up. You could maybe ask Coach Dominguez. She might have had better tabs on everybody last night.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I might do that. You know, just asking any of the coaches or the teachers and stuff. That always feels weird to me. Like, and they ask me why, I want to know. And you know how it is.
I don't, because I don't do teen detective work.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's fair, I suppose.
This does not seem like a healthy relationship.
She thinks it's cute, okay?
She thinks it's cute. She doesn't understand it.
All right, well, I mean, come on. If anybody mentions anything, please just text me instantly, okay?
Yeah, sure thing.
So what you up to?
I got to go home and work on my English project.
All right.
You want to help? Wink.
Yes.
Oh.
I've got 4 hours. 4.5. I've got 4.5. Yes.
You want to talk about an unhealthy relationship? My first thought was such a burn.
I'm going to imagine it was my first thought as well.
Yep.
I think we all had that thought.
Look.
So are you going with her? Or are you going to talk to Coach Dominguez?
Yeah, I think I will talk to the coach.
Okay. Yeah, Annie lets you know that if you want to come over later, you're more than welcome. Just let her know. And she gives you a kiss and heads out to head home. But Coach and a few of the other women on the team are still kind of cleaning up and getting ready to head out from the gym. They're still milling about here.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Hey, Felix. It's going pretty well. What can I do for you?
Do you mind if I talk to you privately just for a quick sec?
Oh, sure. She kind of walks off to the side with you. What's going on? Is everything okay with you and Annie?
Oh, yeah. No, we're great.
Oh.
I know this sounds a little dumb, but it's just kind of a thing that I do, sort of side project thing. And I'd heard about the principal's car, that whole kind of situation.
Yeah, I imagine that the whole school's probably heard about it by now.
Yeah, pretty much, unfortunately. But here's the thing. I'm pretty good at talking to people and kind of figuring stuff out. And long story short, I talked to the auto club because, come on, a lot of people assumed it was somebody from the auto club that did it, probably hot-wired it or something and stole it. But it wasn't. It wasn't them. But I saw that some of the girls were actually here late practicing and just wanted to kind of follow that and see if maybe you'd noticed anything, if any of them stayed a little later or maybe ran off from the group or anything like that. I know it's a big thing to accuse anybody of, so I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to follow every little lead as a favor to the principal,
Is there any relevant ability you're trying to employ yet? Or should we go on with the conversation for now until you decide on something you want to draw from?
Yeah, I don't think there is really.
Okay. So she lets you talk. She lets you get through this whole sentence, and I think that you kind of notice a variety of thoughts cross her face as you get to different parts. A little bit of outrage seems to fire up as you point out the fact that her team was here when a car got stolen. And then a little bit of that washes away as you say, it's a big thing to accuse people of. I'm just trying to do my due diligence. And she says, I appreciate that you're a dedicated young man. I don't know how much help I can give you. The whole team was here last night. We were holding practice. So, yeah, I can confirm that all of the girls were here. They all left around the same time at the end of practice. I'm always the last one out. Obviously, I've got to finish cleaning up and lock the doors. I can tell you that by the time I left, Miller's car wasn't there. I didn't think anything of it. I just assumed he was gone for the night, too.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Here's my theory, because, frankly, I don't think a student did it. Because as much as all of us would think that that's hilarious and be the ultimate prank, there's really not a lot of people in the school stupid enough to try it. Because, that's jail time, that's big. But the thing that I think somebody probably did do is see it, or at least see something, because that's funny enough to maybe keep as a secret or tell some buddies. And, you're kind of almost in on it if you know a little something about what happened. So I guess that's really what I'm looking for. And, the team, they're so great. There's a reason you guys do so good. And Annie is such a leader to them. And, frankly, she looks up to you like a mother. She really gets all of that leadership from you. And so I don't want to come in here and throw around any of them have done something wrong. And I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But, if anybody saw anything and that can lead to the people that really did do it, I think that would be huge. So don't feel like you have to protect them. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, especially, your team.
This sounds like flattery.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She's grinning at you're laying it on fucking thick. She's not stupid. And she says, look, I'll talk to the girls at tomorrow's practice. All right. Unfortunately, most of them are gone already. I can't get them all together now. But if you want me to, I'll bring it up at tomorrow's practice and just see if anybody has anything they want to contribute. I can't imagine that anybody on my team would have done something like this. But if you think it's that important, I'll clear it up for you and I'll let you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You're awesome.
Now get the hell out of my gym.
Not drop and give me 20.
Okay. Anything else anybody needs to get done before stakeout time?
I don't think so.
No.
All right. So we will time jump here. It is shortly before midnight. What is the plan? If you guys want to come up with it, and we'll say that you came up with it before you arrived on scene, that is totally fine.
Do we want to be like in someone's car watching the area? Do we want to be split up? Do we want to be in the school? Like, where does everyone want to be at for this?
I think we should be split up, maybe have a couple of us that have sneaked in so that we can see what's going on if, say, I don't know, scenario of somebody coming in with the low hat on or a mask or something so they're not seen until they get in, and then maybe relax and have a conversation. But if they don't even come in at all, it would behoove us to have somebody outside as well to see who has come and if they have tried to go anywhere else.
I mean, we probably don't even really need to sneak in. I'm president. I probably have keys to the school, and it would make sense if I was there after hours.
Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Although you can certainly ask me to roll preparedness for it if you'd like me to.
I mean, if that is a thing that logically the student government president would have, then I don't have a problem with you just having them on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I had not my own personal set, but we had access to keys for my high school because of us coming in constantly on the weekends to paint sets and things like that. So we could get in literally anytime we wanted.
I have keys to the school. I also... Am I the only one that has a car? I know I'm the only one that has a good driving score.
Yeah, I have a car as well.
Okay.
Can I do something like, I want to put something outside of the doors to the entrances of this place that whoever comes in and leaves, if we don't get a good look at them, like we can maybe find them later. Like some dirt that like turns your shoes red or something.
That seems like a preparedness roll.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, give me a preparedness roll. You gonna spend any points?
Sure.
You got fucking hella preparedness.
Yeah, I'll spend 3.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Wow.
So standard difficulty is a 4, and this seems like a pretty unusual thing. So I do not think you've got your red dirt on you to scatter here for tracking purposes.
Oh, I was so on board for that too. That roll did you dirty.
Yeah, that's I was like 3's enough, right? I'll spend 3 points. That's got to be. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Yeah, then I think we should have 2 of us go in, be waiting in the auto shop early enough that we know that any of the auto club kids that are going to come in for this meetup, we get there before they do, and have a couple of people waiting outside trying to stay incognito, maybe low in your car or down, I don't know what's back here, bushes, anything lined up around the school. That way we can see what's going on from 2 angles.
So who wants to go where?
I mean, I'm not letting the rest of you take these keys. These are my keys. I'd get in trouble.
All right, so I think me and Maddie indoors. That way if they do get in close and anybody tries to run, I can certainly run them down.
Okay.
I was going to say either that or if they're going to run, they're going to run away, like outside. That's
true. If they don't try to go in through the school and get out a different way, if they just come back out, yeah, I could be outside and I'll just kind of be the goalie. If they try to go away, I'll be out there and ready. That works.
Yeah, I mean, I can sneak around pretty good. I don't know if I should stay outside or, Madison, do you want to seem like you're alone inside or with somebody or?
I mean, I'd rather one of you go with me.
Peter, maybe you could say that you were working on photography stuff, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, if we're caught, you and I at least have a pretty good excuse as to why we'd be at the school after hours.
Yeah, although I don't technically have a camera anymore at the moment, just for what it's worth.
Can you say you have to go check on the chemicals and stuff in the darkroom? I don't know how any of that stuff works.
Yeah, I can say a whole lot of things.
I can stay outside.
All right, me and Georgie, we got it.
Okay, so explain to me a little bit more specifically, where. Let's start with the indoor team. Somebody had briefly mentioned being actually in the garage. Is that the plan? Or is it just somewhere in the building nearby? Paint me a word picture.
I would say somewhere between the gym and the garage to see if someone from the gym goes to the garage around midnight.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good idea. Okay, yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Are you like hidden? Are you like crouching behind trash cans or?
I think it's up to Madison. Like, do you want to look like we're working on something in the hallway, or are we hiding?
You just got like hammers and are just tapping the wall in the hallway.
No, I'm thinking like the big
Like a bulletin board?
construction board. Yeah, like displays for the basketball game or whatever.
Yeah, why not? Let's have you and I working on some sort of project like that and seeing if we can keep eyes.
I imagine Madison has like a list of projects that actually do need to get done. So she's just like, this is perfect. I'm putting you to work.
While we're here on the stakeout, we might as well just make sure that this homecoming banner gets adjusted just slightly it's a little low on the left.
What about the outdoor crew? Where are you all posted up?
I'm going to climb a tree.
Okay.
That's so good. I mean, what's it look like back here? Like, I imagine parking lot, and I'm literally just imagining my high school where they're like in the back, it's all just shitty parking lot, and then like a 3-foot brick. You can't even call it a wall, ledge, whatever, and then it just goes off into the woods. So
Nothing like that.
yeah, good.
No, I mean, yeah, you tell me if that's what it looks like back here, then that's what it looks like back here.
Okay, yeah, I'm imagining something like that so I can be as close to that door as possible, but just on the other side of the low ledge or low wall.
Perfect. Okay. So outside, at a few minutes before midnight, you see a car pull up. It stops in front of the overhead doors that go to the auto shop, to the garage, and Lila steps out. And this makes sense. She was the one who was supposed to be here for the rendezvous. So she gets out of the car and kind of looks around, and she doesn't seem to see anybody. And you see her pull out a key and unlock the service door to go into the garage and go inside. And then a couple of minutes later, come back out. You get the impression from watching her that she's looking for whoever she's supposed to be rendezvousing with, and she's not sure exactly what's supposed to be happening. At which point she just sort of starts milling about around the service door in her car like she's waiting for something.
I make a series of gestures up to Georgia in the tree, like tapping my eye and then a hand swipe across the forehead and the number 2, and I point several directions.
I lift up my hands like, what?
I don't know. Just watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Stop waving at me.
Sorry.
Inside, Peter and Madison, you are working on a bulletin board somewhere between the gym and the auto shop, and both of you have pretty good notice. So I think that both of you pick up on this. You see someone move by at the end of the hall. From the gymnasium, from that general direction and in the general direction of the garage. But I think like mostly what sticks out is it seems like they weren't trying to be noticed. Like where they're coming from, where they're going, that's less clear. But the intent of their movement, you can tell that person's trying to sneak. You just happen to pick up on them.
Can I spend a point of notice to try to see if I can pick out more about this figure?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, you realize that as they were moving, part of what you picked up, like part of what you noticed, was the telltale swoosh of the basketball team windbreakers.
Pete, I think it's someone on the basketball team.
What?
Yeah, I heard they're windbreakers. I couldn't tell if it was a student or an adult, could I? It just looked like a figure.
I mean, everybody on the basketball team's pretty tall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think you picked up that detail.
Okay.
Unless you want to spend more notice, I suppose you could spend another point if you want to. I could answer that for you.
Oh, man.
Could we ask the questions, do the coaches also wear the swooshy clothing?
Everybody, like, affiliated with the team has the jackets.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the mascot's made out of that same material.
It's just sonically unpleasant every time the bullfrog does his routine.
Very distracting.
Should one of us try to follow him?
I mean, yeah, I think maybe both of us should.
But what if... I hate to leave this hallway unguarded. Like, what if someone else comes through? I mean, I guess that person was sneaking. Maybe that's the only... There could be multiple gunmen, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, do you want to go follow?
Sure.
Okay, all right, I'll check to see if anyone else is coming from the gym, but if no one's coming, then I'm going to try to come find you, okay?
Okay, and if someone else comes this way, run or hide or... I don't know. And I take off down the hallway.
Okay.
Okay. So are you just, like, pursuing in a dead sprint, or are you trying to, like, follow their creep and sneak up on him.
So how do general abilities work? Like, if I want to, can you double them up? Can I athletics and sneak? Can I run quietly?
If there is an answer to that, I cannot find it in the rules. So here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you pick which one you want to roll, and I will also just charge you a point from the other one to tack it on.
Okay. I think I'm going to roll athletics, and I'll take a point from sneak.
Okay. Are you going to spend any points from athletics also?
I am. This is probably a bad idea, but I'm going to spend the 2 that I have.
Okay.
This seems important. Glad I did. 4.
A grand total of a 4. Okay, so you hustle down this hallway trying to catch up with the sneaker, and you're following the swooshes of the windbreaker as you go. And you're relatively light on your feet. Like, you're pretty quiet as you go. But you know that this person was trying to sneak. Like, they at least had somewhere in their mind that they might be spotted or followed. So I think at one point you hear that kind of windbreaker swoosh stop. And you turn the corner to look for where it was, and you see this person. They also see you. They have stopped to check if anybody was on their trail, and they just turned at the right moment. But you get full eyes on Jocelyn. She is the center on the women's basketball team.
Oh, Jocelyn.
She books it.
This is when I text Pete and I say, "How's it going?"
Weber.
I'm going to yell after her. Yeah, I guess run if you want to make this real difficult, but there's cameras all over this place. I'm going to know exactly where you went.
Which ability are you trying to invoke?
I don't know if that's not really a negotiation. I think it's a taunt because it's not really true. I know where the cameras are here and there aren't a lot of them.
It reads more to me like an intimidation.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't have that skill, so it's not an intimidation.
Can you
Can you make it more taunting?
you
Yes.
make it more taunting?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He just goes,
Dummy.
yeah, dummy.
Yeah, that same thing, but more of a taunt. Yeah, you move real fast, but boy, that swoosh, they're going to hear you coming a mile away. The cops are going to be able to chase that down, no problem.
All right. So I think this is actually going to be a throwdown test. I'm going to have you make a throwdown roll with a spend from taunt to color. Like, that's how you're trying to get under her skin, is by using your taunt prowess.
Okay. Do I need to spend anything else?
You can spend points from throwdown. You could spend more points from taunt if you want to. Each point of interpersonal, each point of taunt you spend will count for a +2 to the roll.
Okay. Then I will spend 1 throwdown as well.
Okay.
6.
Okay. She stops running. And she turns and looks at you and she says, "You called the cops?"
I mean, somebody's going to spend some jail time.
She grabs her head, her temples. She's like, "Oh God, why? Why can't you just mind your own business?"
I get asked that question a lot. It's just not in me. I see things happening. I got to puzzle it together. The car went missing. The basketball team here's late. People carrying bags out filled with stuff. No car. I see you. You try to fucking run away real fast.
She starts to kind of jog backwards away from you again. Like she is gearing up to take off, and she says, "Well, Poindexter, I hope you're good at mazes then." And she turns and books it out the door.
I'm going to try to book it after her.
Okay. So this is going to get us into a contest. An actually opposed PC versus NPC interaction. This will be an athletics contest. Contests in this game, full contests, don't roll against each other. You are both rolling against a target difficulty until somebody fails, at which point we determine the consequences of it. The person who acts first is determined kind of by who did a thing. So she kind of initiated this contest by trying to run. So I will have her make a roll first to beat a target number.
Okay.
She succeeds. So you see her get out those front doors. She pushes those lock bar doors open and kind of tries to swing it shut behind her to get somewhat in your way. And just you see her hoof it on foot across the parking lot towards the tree line.
Okay. 1.
Okay. So I think she gets you with the door. I think that is what you see as the door kind of comes back and hits you. It is enough to hinder you. You can see her through the glass. But she makes her way into the trees and she disappears from sight.
God, that's...
Pete, are you okay?
What? No, I'm slow.
You didn't reply to my text and I heard shouting. What happened?
Jocelyn, she just said something about, she called me your name and then said she hopes I'm good at solving mazes.
Okay. Here, take this tissue and just, hold it against your nose,
thank you.
let's meet up with the others, okay?
Tilt my head back so I don't swallow a bunch of the blood.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, so outside, you have watched Lila kind of pacing and like checking her phone every now and then. And somewhere on the other side of the building, you heard a door get like tossed open, it sounded like. And Lila kind of looked that direction in confusion and then checked her phone again. How is the inside crew approaching the outside crew here?
Oh man, are we still trying to be cloak and dagger about this? I mean, Felix was talking to Lila. I mean, I guess Lila didn't know that we were planning to stake out, but...
Yeah, Lila fully knew that you guys, or at least that Felix is aware of this because she told him, but it was not ever made explicit to Lila that you were going to crash the thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems to me that we just possibly interrupted the contact.
Yeah.
So, like...
I think so.
I'm not necessarily worried about interrupting anything going on when we get back to the outside crew.
Yeah, so I think Peter and I just walk out. I don't think we're really sneaking anymore.
Okay. So the outside crew and Lila all see Peter and Madison come out of the door from the school and start walking that direction. And Lila looks surprised, and she walks up to the two of you and she says, "Are you the ones who left me a note?"
Yeah, how exactly do we fence a car?
And she seems to not buy it. Like, she's like, "You don't seem like the type for this."
Yeah, no, you're right. And I take the rag away from my nose to check it.
What happened to you?
Closed door.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
I jump out of the tree.
Okay.
Oh, gosh!
What's going on?
Were you all spying on me?
My head slowly pops up from behind the wall.
You I'm not surprised by.
I duck back down.
No, not you.
Who you were meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, did you run into him? Who was it?
Well, all signs right now point to Jocelyn.
I pop back up. No shit! Oh, I can't wait to tell Annie. Oh my God.
Yeah, she called me Poindexter or something and then said, "I hope you're good at solving mazes."
Mazes. Maybe she means like maze, like she's selling the car for to raise funds.
What are you talking about?
Maze, it's the thing where you...
No.
No.
Yeah, it's like it's a charity.
Is there a maze in this town?
Do you have town lore?
I do.
Okay. Then I think you know that probably the closest thing she could be talking about is the junkyard. There is a junkyard on the edge of town, and it is just rows and rows of detritus. But kids like to go hang out there and goof off and whatever. And it is not uncommon at all for them to just get lost. I mean, I think it's entirely possible. Have any of you done any hoodlum shit in the junkyard at any point in your high school careers?
I've definitely gone and looked for parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I assume it's a fun place to just go run around, and yeah, absolutely.
I hope you're good at mazes.
Yeah.
Like the junkyard? Like, I don't know, sometimes people go and like play games and stuff and chase each other, and it's kind of easy to get lost, right?
Yeah, that's good. That would probably be a good place to hide the car too, if that's, where they're stashing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, if it was all of those backpacks they were like carrying out in pieces, maybe they rebuilt it in the middle of the junkyard.
Well, which way did she go?
Out the south door. After that, I didn't really see.
Madison, I think that as you're all having this conversation, you notice out of the corner of your eye, Lila just trying to kind of sneak away from this group back towards her car.
Lila, hold up. Where are you going?
Oh, it's, real late after midnight, so I just got to get home.
I mean, do you know of any of the kids who hang out at the junkyard?
She crosses her arms and starts shaking her head. No. Absolutely not. And your bullshit detector is firing off pretty good.
What's a junkyard?
What's a junk? It sounds like a wild place.
Just work on cars all day at school. I don't know what.
Yeah. Come on, Lila. I know you know something that you're not telling us, and I know that you don't want any of the kids from the auto club to go down for this, so if you could help us.
What ability are you trying to invoke here?
I could make a case for negotiation or reassurance, probably.
Yeah, I think either one of those stands to reason.
Sure. I'll spend a point of negotiation then.
Okay, you want to actually spend and go for some extra here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. She seems like she's trying to bite her tongue for a second, and then she goes, all right. Yeah, I know some stuff about the junkyard. Okay. Me and some of the other kids in shop class, we make deliveries there. We run parts, so to speak. So yeah, I am familiar.
Parts? Like, where do you get these?
You know how sometimes we do free service for people as part of our continuing education and stuff. We'll fix up cars and stuff. Also, sometimes we take some of their parts and we replace them with subpar parts, and then we send off the chopped parts to a guy at the junkyard who sells them off for money.
And Mr. Campbell's okay with this?
No, God, no. Mr. Campbell doesn't know anything about any of this. Don't send Mr. Campbell down for this, all right? He is not to be held liable.
So this all is your idea?
Well,
look, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I just want to know what's going on.
It's not my idea. I'm sort of like the site supervisor over on this end. It's the junkyard guy's idea.
Okay. So who's in charge at the junkyard? What's their name?
You promise that you're not going to get any of us mixed up in this whole thing with the principal's car? Because we actually didn't have anything to do with this part.
No, and I don't love what you're doing, and we can talk about that later, but right now I want to focus on finding the car.
I mean, the guy at the junkyard's a guy named Ward.
Okay.
And that's all I would have been able to tell Jocelyn, I guess, if I'd actually gotten the chance to talk to her. The only person I know of that deals with things like stolen cars is Ward, so...
Do you know Jocelyn at all?
I mean, not really. Loosely, from being some of the same classes. We had algebra together freshman year.
So you don't have her number?
No.
And she doesn't have yours?
No, I assume that's why she left me a note.
Felix, do you have Jocelyn's number?
No, but I'm sure Annie does.
Do you think you could get it from her?
I can try.
I want to try and text Jocelyn from my phone, pretending to be Lila. So I want to, text her and say, hey, I was here to meet up with somebody and I saw you for a second. Did you leave me a note?
Here's my problem. I don't think I can call Annie and at midnight ask her for another girl's number.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is this something that I could use research to find?
Yeah, I suppose if you go somewhere that you could research that, you're going to need a computer or, something.
I mean, we are still at the school. I could go into one of the computers.
Fair. I feel like student contact information would be behind some kind of barrier. I don't think research can get it by default. It's probably something that's literally locked in the principal's office or something like that. So this would either merit some degree of hacking or some degree of breaking and entering to get to where you could do the research to find the number.
I mean, I think I know where we could find Jocelyn's number. It would just involve getting into one of the school computers or it would just mean getting into one of the administrative computers, and that's behind a door that I don't have a key for, I don't think.
Oh, I can get you one.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't need a key.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Then I think we're going to head towards the administrative building.
Okay. Is anything becoming of Lila, or is she just cool to go?
Lila, since this is kind of blown up every which way, can we have the note?
Yeah. She pulls it out of her pocket and hands it to you. And she says, to be perfectly honest, the more I can just kind of wash my hands of this matter, the better. So,
are you sure you don't want to go with us? I mean, we may be about to destroy your contact at the junkyard.
You gonna go kill Ward?
No, but I mean, I think your connection to him is gonna be broke unless he's gonna know you sent us there, unless you want to be there to explain it.
Oh, shit. I mean, do you think you need me? Because, honestly, this is just kind of some extra scratch. So if I wasn't able to do a chop shop thing anymore, I wouldn't be that
okay
super beat up about it.
I don't know what your situation is money wise. I didn't want to.
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
I feel like you're assuming some things. About me.
We all do things for different reasons.
No, in fact, she pulls out a $5 bill. She hands it to you. She's like, here's something nice.
Oh, thank you.
She seems content to kind of let that relationship self-destruct if it has to. She wants out of this, so she hops in her car and takes off as the rest of you head back into the school. You get to the principal's door. Georgia, why don't you make me a repair roll here to pick the lock?
Oh shit, can I check the window right before we do? He's not still sleeping in his office, is he?
No. No, he is not. You're confident that Principal Miller is not here tonight. over the course of the following day, he figured out a different way to get home than having that car here.
He got a rental.
Which brings us to the next case of the stolen bicycle.
Just every mode of transportation gets stolen.
By the person who had theirs stolen before.
They're super easy to solve.
Somebody stole my Heelys. I have nothing left.
So if I'm going to spend something, do I do it now?
Yes, if you want to spend points, you say before you roll.
I will spend 3 points of repair.
Okay, that's a lot.
6.
Yeah, no problem. You hear a telltale clink as the lock turns, and you are in the principal's office.
All right, you're in. Go.
Georgia, you're amazing.
Yeah, I know.
They're not going to know that we broke in here, right? You didn't do anything permanent?
They're not going to know we broke in here.
Okay. We'll deal with that later. I'm going to get onto the principal's computer and try to find Jocelyn's phone number.
Yeah, no problem. With your research ability, you are able to find Jocelyn's contact information, her home address, her parents' contact number, and her contact number.
Excellent. I'm going to just take a photo of that with my phone. I think we're going to leave the office.
Okay. You managed to get back out, get the door locked back up, no problem. So what's the plan from here? It is probably approaching 1 a.m. More action tonight or more action tomorrow?
Well, if we think she's on her way there now.
Yeah, I mean, that was the impression she gave, was like, if you want to catch me, I hope you can solve a maze, so...
Right.
Okay, so we get some cameras, we get whatever we need for that, we infiltrate, we try to find her, and if the car's there, then we'll be able to prove where it went and who did it, right?
Okay, did you get her phone number?
Yeah. Okay, so it's 555, and then I'll just give the rest of it.
I was hoping you were going to remember one of the Nancy Drew ones that we always use. Okay, yeah, I put that into my phone, and I text, "Hey, Jocelyn, this is Lila. I was supposed to meet someone tonight, but they didn't show, but I think I saw you running away, ? Were you the one trying to meet up with me? If you are headed to the junkyard, Ward won't meet with you alone. Where can I find you? I'm definitely in on this."
I'm definitely Lila.
in on it.
I mean, like,
Sincerely, Lila.
Down.
Love Lila.
As she's sending this text, I'm getting my cameras off the roof.
Okay. As you get your cameras down, you have one long video file that is a lot of Lila pacing. And at one point you hear kind of the door slam, and just in the corner of the frame, way off in the distance, you can see a silhouette booking it just barely for a moment, crossing the parking lot and into the tree line. It might be hard to recognize if you didn't already know, but you can see the windbreaker. You know that it's Jocelyn.
And is it the direction of the junkyard?
Vaguely. Junkyard's on the west side of town. She headed out kind of the west side of the building.
Okay.
What a fucking narc text message.
I love it.
Well, I feel like if she's on her way there, like if I'm down for this plan as Lila, and she's on her way there, and if this guy won't work with anyone he doesn't already trust, her going there right away could fuck over the entire operation.
Yeah, I think you're correct. So I think a moment passes, you get a text back that first says, "How did you get my phone number?"
Right back, Auto Club has everybody's phone number.
Is that true?
I don't know.
From the roof. Just tell her you know how to use the fucking white pages.
Yeah, I looked on your Facebook. I'll text her back. Auto Club knows everybody's contacts.
Okay. With your impersonate ability, she seems to buy that you are who you say you are, because she texts you back and she says, "I'm on my way there right now. Can you meet me there?"
Yeah, I can be there soon.
She says, "Okay."
Where exactly are we meeting?
At the center, near the Minotaur.
She says, "I'll meet you at the front so you can take me to Ward."
Yeah, I text her back. We'll be there soon.
Hey, and welcome back to the Monster Mash. We are here for round 3. Today's matches are Spark versus Iron Wolf in the snowy field, and Jeremy versus Psycrawler in the rundown warehouse. So first over to Jake. Could you remind us about Spark?
Spark is a suit of armor operated by electric gremlins. Spark has 2 attack and 2 defense. The attack tags are shock and collective. The defense tags are armor and shock again.
And Tass, let us know about Iron Wolf.
I'm taking over for Iron Wolf, who has 2 attack and 2 defense as well. The 2 attack are teeth and claws and the use of his motorcycle. And the defensive tags are his thick hide and leather gear and his maneuverability on the bike.
All right, so can I get a little paper, rock, scissors between the two of you to find out who goes first? 1, 2, 3, shoot! Iron Wolf, what is your opening salvo?
I think I want to start out just fully gunning the throttle. I want to charge across the snowy field, rip the bike up into a wheelie, and just smash the tire down and see how many parts I can break.
All right, Spark, how are you defending against this?
I'll tell you how I'm defending against this. I'm stepping out of the way and letting doing a wheelie in the snow take care of him for me.
All right, so it sounds like Iron Wolf is invoking 1 tag. Spark is invoking no tags. Judges, where are your dice going?
Iron Wolf, one question.
Yeah.
Did you remember to put chains on your motorcycle tires?
What do you think? This guy's a noob on the motorcycle? No.
All right. My die goes to Iron Wolf.
I'm going to go with Spark. I think that this should be pretty easy to sidestep, especially in the terrain that they're in.
Yeah, I think I agree. What about the environment die?
Yeah, I'd say that goes to Spark for the reason I just mentioned.
I don't know. If he put chains on his motorcycle tires, I feel like that kind of cancels it out. Rev, tiebreaker.
I'm going to say, I think I'm going to go with Spark. Only because if Iron Wolf had his chains as an attack tag, I would absolutely assume he had chains on the tires.
I mean, I would assume that would go as part of the motorcycle tag.
Can't remember the last time I saw a motorcycle on chains.
I've never seen a motorcycle that had chains.
Have you ever seen a werewolf ride a motorcycle?
Thank you, Kim.
We're in a fantasy world, Jake.
Okay, there's no reality, this real reality, the game reality, no reality where the snow is benefiting a motorcycle.
That's true. He's only possibly trying to negate
He is
it.
maybe mitigating the damage.
At best, yeah. So the environment die does in fact go to Spark. So how many die each rolling?
Looks like 3.
5.
All right, let's see it.
1 success.
4 successes.
That gives Spark 3 to carry over. Spark, what are you doing in retaliation?
I am going to grab Iron Wolf off of the bike and slam him into the ground and put the electric charge into the hand.
Okay, Iron Wolf, how are you going to defend against this?
I'm just going to cut the bike into a slide. You know, like when they're going under a semi-trailer, so that when he tries to grab, I'm just using that speed to duck it.
All right, so it sounds like you are each invoking 1 tag. Judges, where are your die going?
I like the slide on this one. I think I'm going to give it to Iron Wolf.
I think my die is going to go to Sparks this time.
I think mine goes to Iron Wolf this time, sacrificing the motorcycle to try to avoid this. What about the environment die?
Come on, using that dope ice to do this sweet slide? Come on.
Yeah, I think it's Iron Wolf.
Yeah.
All right, how many die each rolling?
5.
3.
3 successes.
2 successes.
All right, so those bonuses unfortunately go to waste. And Iron Wolf, you carry over 1 success. What are you doing?
Okay, well, now that I've gone down like this in this slide, I want to plant a foot and use the speed of the tire on the ice to just spin it so that I kick up all of that ice at high speed so that there's just a shower of icy shards jabbing into the weak points of this robot.
How are you defending against this?
I am kind of bringing everything in tight, like a really tight boxer's guard, and bearing down and using the fact that I am a suit of armor to tank this damage.
All right, so you're each invoking 1. Judges, where are your dice going? I think mine's going to Spark, because at least the narrative that I'm picturing, this would be a hard maneuver for Iron Wolf, because I imagine Iron Wolf has slid past Spark, and now it would have to do like a 180 to hit him.
I really like both of these, but I think I'm going to go with Iron Wolf because I like the idea of sending a shower of that ice to get past those defenses that Spark does have.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to go with Iron Wolf.
Okay, what about the environment?
Yeah, Iron Wolf's using the snow. So,
yeah.
How many die each rolling?
5.
3.
That's 4 successes.
3 successes.
All right, so Spark, you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
How are you retaliating?
He planted a foot so that he could kind of lay this bike out sideways and like spin it. I don't imagine there's any way he's going to be able to stop making contact with the wet ground before I put a charge through it. So I am just going to launch a charge out my feet and through the snow.
All right, how are you going to defend against this?
Since I've got it all planted on the ground and my foot is on the ground, I think I just lean forward and grab onto the rubber tire of the front tire.
Yes.
that's covered in metal chains.
Hoisted by his own petard.
All right, so it sounds like you're each invoking... I don't know, I don't think you're invoking one on this one, Iron Wolf, because you're not using the swiftness of the motorcycle.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So judges, where are your die going?
Spark. I like the idea of sending a charge out through the snow.
I really like grabbing onto the rubber tire.
I'm going to go with Spark as well. And I think the environment die, obviously, Spark is channeling through the wetness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, how many die each rolling?
3.
5.
None.
Also none.
What?
Oh my god.
1, 1, 1, 2, 3.
This is an authentic Critshow roll right there.
A stalemate happens. Iron Wolf, what are you doing?
I just love the visual of that round. I like amp up to send out a charge, and he like does some acrobatic shit to grab onto the tire, but then like you see a wide angle, and I'm just like plopping a foot down, and a tiny spark goes through the snow, and he's just hugging the tire of his motorcycle, and nothing's happening.
Kicking his back legs.
Since he's got a limb down in the snow, I think I am certain that my jaws are powerful enough to grab on and rip the limb off.
How are you defending?
Again, I am going to kind of bear down, like turtle up, shrink everything in, try and get as protected as possible, and concentrate all of my charge into the limb that he's trying to take.
All right, so it sounds like Iron Wolf is doing 1, Spark is doing 2. Judges, where are your die going?
I really want to see Iron Wolf bite that limb.
Yeah, I think we'll go in with Spark. He's using his mouth. So I think sending the sparks there is a...
Yeah, there's like a tongue in there and stuff. I'm going to go with Spark as well.
And stuff.
What about the environment die?
I'm not sure if it plays a factor in this one.
Yeah, I think the only argument that could be made is that Iron Wolf's attempt was made at like, oh yeah, he's got his foot down in the snow, and so that I'm going to try to latch onto it. But I feel like the electricity would help Spark in this case. So I could go with neither.
I say neither because I don't think his foot being in the snow is necessarily using the environment in his attack. It's just more of he is in that position based on the last thing he did.
Yeah. Okay. How many die each rolling?
3.
4.
3 successes.
2.
All right, so with the success plus the 1 invoked tag, that's 3 damage to Spark, but Spark has invoked 2 armor tags, so 2 of those points are negated. Spark, what are you doing?
While he's biting down, while he's making contact with me, all of the limbs and parts of this suit of armor start moving kind of independently of each other in ways that like a person can't move to form almost a cage around him, like a roll cage around the werewolf, and just let out a jolt from all sides.
Iron Wolf, what are you doing?
I think as this cage starts forming, instead of trying to like get out of it, I just curl up as tight as I can and flex so that my thick hide and all of this leather is just covering as much surface area as possible. So I'm ready to just take it.
All right, sounds like Spark is invoking 2, Iron Wolf 1. Judges, where are your die going?
I like Spark for this. I like the visual of like parts of this mechanical body sort of enveloping Iron Wolf.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen Spark move in a non-humanoid way.
Mm-hmm.
What about the environment die?
I'm not sure if it plays a factor in this one either.
No, me either.
How many each rolling?
Just 2.
5.
1.
2.
All right, Iron Wolf, you take 2 points of damage. What are you doing?
I think now that he's spread out in this odd, unnatural way, I am just lashing out with my claws in every direction, doing like a claw flurry spin to try to crack, break, and tear any of the little mechanical pieces, the wires, anything that might be looser.
Spark, how are you defending?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm just committing to the exact same thing I just did to him. I am shocking from all sides and tightening up to reinforce myself.
All right, so Iron Wolf is invoking 1, Spark 2. Judges, where are your dice going?
I'm going to go with Iron Wolf on this one. I think the spread out position that Spark is in is going to make it easier for Iron Wolf to get his claws around different parts.
I agree. My die's going to Iron Wolf.
Yeah, Iron Wolf. What about the environment die? Same as last time?
I'm not sure it plays a factor again.
All right, how many each rolling?
5,
2,
1.
also 1.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, that cancels out.
Spark's feeling petty. I'm going to run over to wherever the motorcycle's been laid down and just grab it and electrify it until it's toasted.
Oh, no.
Iron Wolf, what are you doing to defend against this?
Well, I'm going to use my auto starter clicker so that it just the
Motorcycle has remote start?
yeah, fuck yeah, it does. And so I'm going to click the button so it just takes off.
What? Oh, man, this motorcycle kicks ass.
Yeah.
All right, so it's judges, where are your dice going?
Iron Wolf, 100%.
Spark, I mean, that motorcycle's on the ground. Even if it starts driving, it's just doing donuts like a Mo.
I'm going with Spark.
What about the environment die?
I can't imagine that the snow would help a motorcycle drive away on its own.
Yeah, so nobody, I guess. How many each rolling?
3, inexplicably.
4.
No successes.
4 successes.
Oh,
There we
that
are.
is 5 points of damage.
I think at seeing my bike get destroyed, I just fall to my knees with my hands up and a howl.
5 points of damage on the attack that didn't target the combatant.
It was all psychic damage.
It's emotional damage.
My will to fight has left me as my bike gets fried.
All right, so that moves Spark on to the next round.
Stupid.
Next, we have Jeremy versus Psycrawler in the rundown warehouse. Why don't you both remind us about your combatants?
Sure. Jeremy, the half man, half kraken. He has 3 attack. His tags being his tentacles, his ability to summon lightning, and Best Buy. And Jeremy has 1 defense, which is durability, both under the ocean and in high pressure retail situations.
And Psycrawler?
Psycrawler, the living psychic maelstrom, has 3 attack. Those tags are Psybeam, which lets me do psychic damage, Confuse Ray, which allows me to disorient my opponent, and Telekinesis, and 1 defense, that tag being incorporeal.
All right, let's get a little rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Again. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Again. 1,
We're
2,
so in sync.
3, shoot. Again. 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, Jeremy, what is your opening salvo in the rundown warehouse?
I think as I'm walking in, I'm pulling out a smartphone and typing something onto the local Craigslist, saying that it's the holiday season. This particular warehouse is selling flat screen TVs for 90% off. I want to summon Black Friday shoppers who are going to flood this abandoned warehouse and all of the chaos and psychic cacophony. I want to overwhelm this psychic maelstrom.
All right, so you're invoking 1 tag. How is Psycrawler defending against this?
I am going to make my way into an empty crate in this warehouse and use it to block out some of the sound, the cacophony that's being used to attack me, and just kind of use it as a little hideaway place.
All right, so it sounds like you're each invoking 1 tag. Judges, where are your dice going?
I love this opening salvo. That's very good. But I worked receiving at an Elder Beerman during Black Friday, and I kid you not, I would go hide in the large refrigerator boxes and stuff to get out of the way.
Walk-in cooler.
Yep. So it's going to Psycrawler for me.
I like that somebody finally had the courage to paint Black Friday shoppers in a positive light. So I'm going to give mine to Jeremy.
I'm going to go with Psycrawler as well, partially because of using the environment to hide from all of these frantic shoppers who are looking for boxes as opposed to crates. And so I've also just accidentally given my vote about the environment.
Goes to
I
Psycrawler.
agree, yeah.
Okay, how many each rolling?
4.
4.
All right. Let's see it.
2 successes.
1 success.
All right, so Psycrawler takes 1 point of damage. Psycrawler, what are you doing?
I am going to use my Confuse Ray on the Black Friday shoppers and mess with their heads and trying to get them to think that there's only one of these TVs left.
Oh no.
And create a panic and have an all-out brawl start in this warehouse that will just trample the hell out of this Kraken.
Jeremy, how are you defending?
Oh, I think I'm using both my natural durability to withstand the stampede, but also using, this is not Jeremy's first Black Friday, using my durability to try to sort of wrangle the crowd and try to create some sort of order within this chaos, at the very least to let me sort of slip past them unscathed.
All right, so you are each invoking 1 tag. Judges, where are your dice going?
I think I got to go Psycrawler again. I am a son of Black Friday brawlers. So, yeah.
Psycrawler.
Yeah. What about the environment die?
Psycrawler's move wouldn't be possible if this weren't a warehouse selling Black Friday goods, so I feel like it goes to Psycrawler.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
All right, how many die each rolling?
1.
7.
Oh, my.
Let's see it.
4 successes.
1 success.
So Jeremy takes 3 points of damage. Jeremy, what are you doing?
I think while all the Black Friday shoppers are focused on one singular box, I'm going to use my tentacles to start throwing boxes and crates and anything I can get my tentacles on at Psycrawler.
Psycrawler, how are you defending?
I'm incorporeal.
That's true. All right, so you're each invoking 1 tag. Judges, where are your dice going?
Yeah, I think it's Psycrawler again. This one defeated me as Cheshire so easily, and for good reason, I think.
Really hard to argue against being incorporeal.
I think I'm going to go with Jeremy with the acknowledgement that a bunch of these Black Friday shoppers are being knocked down and are no longer in play as they get crushed by these boxes being thrown willy-nilly.
Yeah.
What about the environment die?
Jeremy.
Yeah. Okay, how many each rolling?
3.
5.
3 successes.
5 successes.
All right, Psycrawler takes 2 points of damage. Psycrawler, what are you doing?
I'm going to use my telekinesis to lift up this box with this TV over to Jeremy and then use my Confuse Ray again to disorient the remaining Best Buy shoppers into thinking that Jeremy has the last available one. And then use my Psybeam to cause psychic damage to Jeremy. Just that psychic damage that any retail worker knows as a crowd of people are running towards them and they have the last of something that everybody wants.
All right, Jeremy, how are you defending yourself?
Oh, God. I don't know. Oh, man. I think Jeremy, seeing the Black Friday shoppers approaching, briefly panics and wonders what he has wrought. and he's going to try to run away and squeeze himself into a tiny space in between 2 boxes to try to see if he can slip past these shoppers and avoid their attack.
All right, so it sounds like Psycrawler is invoking 3 and Jeremy is invoking none. Judges, where are your dice going?
I think it's Psycrawler again. Yeah. I mean, way to flip the script on this one. That's pretty brutal.
I agree.
Yeah. What about the environment die?
Man, they're both utilizing the environment.
Yeah.
I feel...
Does that kind of even it out, or do we feel like it favors one or the other?
I feel like it favors Psycrawler still, though.
What about you? I'm kind of on the fence.
I kind of am, too. Okay, hold on.
Picture it in your mind's eye.
Yeah, I'm imagining either the object of desire of a Black Friday shopper whether it's tucked back in a crack or not, or the object of anger and fury for the same shopper that's also tucked back away somewhere. Either way, they're gonna get it. So I think it's Sidecrawler on that too.
Okay, how many dice each rolling?
7.
Oh, 1.
Oof.
Oh, Jeremy, I'm sorry.
I mean, this has burned me before with rolling a handful of dice and having no successes. So 4 dice successes.
And Kim, how many did you have?
None.
That is 7 points of damage to Jeremy.
Fucking one shot.
Again. The last thing we see is Jeremy vanish in a flood of Black Friday shoppers.
He died as he lived. Very overwhelmed.
All right, so join us next week for the Monster Mash, where we will have Spark versus Sidecrawler, and the location will be on top of a rocky mountain. And then the winner of that will fight Hound in the finals on top of a windy plateau. We'll see you next week for the finale of the Monster Mash.
The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.